That's a pretty background. It is early evening. This is Sit and Share Sunday. I hope you have enjoyed the last two. 2 weeks ago when I revealed that I would be leasing land rather than buying land, and how that all came to be. And then last Sunday, I shared with you, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 different insights and understandings I have about myself and why I went on the journey that I did and how it all came together based on who I am and what my personality is all about. Well, could there have been anything different? If there was different scenarios, circumstances in my life that would have given me the desire or the urge to keep on keeping on looking for land to buy. I have a few things that I'd like to share with you that have to do with circumstances that played a part in moving forward like I did. I'm very excited. Today I will share those with you, some insights, how things could have looked different, or if they look different, maybe I'd still be looking to buy land. Hope you'll join me. Here, Serene and Simple Life with today's Sit and Share Sunday. This is the third one in a series of four that I know of right now. Month of July here. That I am sharing with you how this whole land search ended up and what I'm about to embark on. I got to thinking, and I do have notes, yes, always notes. I wrote these things down, 1-2 words, as I went thinking, what would have made the land search different that I would have continued on the train that I was on to absolutely not lease land, not give money to anybody else, but to own land and own my own cabin outright. Well, the obvious. Number one, finances. And that could range from, I needed an extra $30,000 to feel comfortable, up to truly an extra $80,000. Why such a big jump? Well, $30,000 would have taken care of all the needs that land needs once you buy land. The septic, the water, the electric, the clearing, the driveway, the landscaping. $30,000 would have been a nice buffer, probably some left over. And $60,000 or $80,000 would have got me a little piece of land by a lake, a river, or a mountain. Although, who knows if it would have been able to be unrestricted, you know. So finances definitely played a big part. And absolutely, if you're not going to go off grid, I could have afforded it. Almost. Another year of saving if I were to go off grid. But as it ends up, I just had enough money for my tiny cabin and not enough money for both. So that would be the number one circumstance. Number two would have been my age. Now, I don't focus on my age as a hindrance But if I were in my 30s, 40s, still raising children, if they were still with me, and I was working every day, and it was no bother, 40, 50, 60 hours a week, where I wasn't just parked on my land. Owning my own land would be desirable. Yeah. Owning my own land and having a little cabin and shoulda, coulda, woulda. No, I don't go there. No regrets. I'm just saying that I don't want to live off grid because I don't have that will and that wherewithal to bring water in and do water catchment and firewood, and I've never built a fire in my life. I tried in Washington, didn't work. I'll try again. But I'm talking about the really hardy living off grid. My age says no. We're not going to be hauling wood in and freezing and all those kind of things. So I would rather go see-do and live in my SUV than do that. No surprise here for the next one, but having a partner. Because a partner would not have brought on that displaced, isolating feeling. Don't know exactly how to explain that, except watch that, if you haven't already, the first video where I explained how I went back to a piece of land that I thought could be it, and I had a totally different feeling that went through me. And it was too much me, myself, and I. So I think if I was with a partner and we were motivating each other and we were still wanting to live a nomad life, but yet have that place to renew and regroup, that would make a difference. And including that, it would be family nearby. You know, if I was getting a piece of land near one of my children, and seeing my grandkids on a regular basis, that would make a difference too. Although that's not in the plans, that's not in the cards. I hate to say cards, it's not God's will right now for my life. You know, to be, because who knows, they're not 100% gonna, I don't know if they're gonna be stationary. I could move near them and they'll be like, next week call me up and say, we're moving. Don't take it personally, Mom, but we're moving. Okay. So that would make a difference. You know, I learned a lot about Tennessee and how, you know, close-knit families and people who've been in the area for generations and they don't like outsiders. I mean, that's a blanket stereotype. It's not necessarily 100% true anywhere, but that would have made a better feeling for having my own piece of land if I knew that I was going to have people coming and going. You know, and even the best laid plans of your family coming over, they don't anyways. We just think they're going to. So enough on that point, but again, and another thing would be neighbors. If I had a neighbor that I actually knew, and she would be like, you know, hey Linda, there's a unrestricted lot where you can put your tiny home, and you know, and we were best buds for a long time and felt really comfortable, then I know that when I would leave to go travel, go see-do, or whatever I was doing, that someone would be keeping an eye on my cabin. That would have made a difference. I met someone in East Tennessee, Megan, if you're watching, and I even asked her if she's on 5 acres, if her and her husband might consider selling something to me. And she took it before her husband, and they were not wanting to go there. Understandably so. She said they might get goats or cows or something, and you know, they just didn't want someone else there, and I understand that. But it definitely would have been a consideration if I knew that someone who had land. And I think one time I put it out there on a video. You know, I mentioned to all of you, hey, you know, but again, I would have to know you for a while, because being friends and being there every day, you know, what happens if you have some disagreements and you can't work it out? You know, that's not good. So, you know, not sure. But it was a thought. It was a thought how those kind of circumstances might have made it different for me buying versus leasing. I knew this going in, this next one, but I'm telling you, government, less hurdles with zoning and planning. So frustrating. And I bet you all have a story that you could, of somebody who wanted to put up a little shed, but the planning committee said no, and the neighbors down the street said, what are they doing? And when it's unrestricted, to me, unrestricted is unrestricted is unrestricted. Not true, not true. So that went against my grain, and I called a couple different zoning planning, you know, wanting to jump through their hoops, explain to them this was going to be a cabin on a foundation, and it's so new for some of those people that they don't understand what you're doing, and they don't care to understand. And I even had one company that I was looking into that was going to build my cabin say they get so many calls that they have selective listening, and then they shut down. Then they don't hear you anymore about what you're going to do. And so that didn't sit well. It was just one of the, now did that all of a sudden be like, you know what, I'm not going to buy land, I can't stand this? No, it didn't come to focus like that. Just after the fact, when I'm looking back, too many hoops, and I press through. I told you, I go through those stumbling blocks, but combination of all of these things combined, and nothing was the straw that broke the camel's back. This is all just a blanket of different things that I thought about afterwards that would have made me continue to look for land unrestricted. And yeah, so basically, I guess that's what I have written down. And then, you know, just delving deeper into who I am. If I was a person who was a hermit type, and I like to live by myself, and I could care less if I didn't see people for days and days, and you know, and I had my weapons and, you know, ready to confront anybody that would come on my land, and I run with faith over fear, but quiet is quiet at nighttime. And sometimes your mind can travel to places you don't want it to go. So if I was a different personality and I didn't like the sound of traffic, or I could care less if I don't hear from anybody for 5 weeks, and I'm good just sitting in my cabin watching TV and doing nothing, and, you know, I don't know, if my hobbies were different, you know, that I like to can, and I like to cook large meals for myself and be healthy and have a garden. If I was a different personality, which I know some of you saw, you're like, Linda, are you sure? Like, you seem like community or, you know, people person. Well, see, I go both ways. I am totally content on this 6-month journey. I'm going to meet a few of you, but then I'm totally content to go on my own. But that's different, because everywhere I go, I go to the rest area, I'm watching a dog over there. I see the truck drivers all lined up. I hear the traffic in the background. I hear the nature. Maybe somebody will walk by and wave their hand and say hi. That's me. But I'm okay with me, myself, and I, as long as there's those other kinds of activities going on. And I knew that, but I was just so determined to not want to rent, that it hung me up. But as I shared with you in the first video, I had to absolutely go on that journey to absolutely be 100%, 110% content with what I'm doing now. No regrets, excited, won't mind writing the check at all. The owner is wonderful. I've never encountered anyone like him, and I will share some of those things with you in next week's Sit and Share Sunday. How I am not rationalizing, but justifying, I think that's a better word, justifying the rent or the leasing that I'm going to be paying. I've kind of just brought it down where it feels like it's almost next to nothing with all the services and amenities that I will have. So that is very cool. I'm excited. What I'm doing today might not mean what I'm doing 3-5 years from now. I don't know. Who knows? I could have a partner, right? Anything can happen. So I'm embracing this. I'm loving it. And I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful that you come along with me on this journey. I hope that you will share it with others and you will click the bell and subscribe, because there's been plenty of times when people say, like, Linda, I can't keep up with you. I don't know where you're at. I don't know what you're doing. And that is literally because you have not clicked the bell and it's not showing up in your feed and you're not watching the videos as I post them. So I think throughout the summer months, I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided whether I'll be doing more videos and they'll be shorter, or if I will do just a couple longer videos, like twice a week or whatever, of the different states that I'm going through and the journey that I'm going on this 6 months while my cabin's being built. It might be shorter too. I mean, they might call me up in 3 months and say it's built. But I'm excited, however it works, because I've got a plan with the journey. Alrighty. Thank you all. Love you. I'm grateful for you. And with that, blessings in your day and joy in the journey.